Welcome to UX India 2025. I am Bhagyashree Bhagwatkar and today I have with us Aditi Sharma. She is the head of research and design at AWS. She has an illustrious career working at top fortune companies including Amazon and also is driving AI first strategy at 30 plus enterprise platforms. Hello Aditi, how are you?
Thank you, Bhagyashree, for having me. I'm good.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here at UX India.
Thank you. Thank you for creating a space where design in India can grow and it can get the focus that it truly needs, because India, the design scene is totally booming. So really excited to be here and to be speaking with you.
Yes, we are here to learn from you and from whatever you have to talk about. So moving forward, we also know that you are a published author. We would like to know more about that journey, how it started.
It really started as a challenge because I started writing the book while I was on my maternity leave.
Oh, interesting.
So it was really about how do I bring back perspectives that I'd learned about using tools like Figma, for example, which have changed so much now in the world of AI. Specifically, I think for me, it's very important to express yourself in mediums that are easy to understand for wide ranges of audiences. And for me, I think it's important to take moments as they come by when you can really pause. And for me, it was maternity leave in between feeding my child and then finding the space to write a book. And then also connecting with my team members, because I was talking to some of the event organizers this morning, how I want to be so involved in the outcomes that are being driven. So just connecting with my team along the way as well. So as I wrote the book, I realized as I was writing it, I maybe knew 50% of the tool, and there was so much more to experience within the tool and the landscape around it. So for me, it was also a learning experience as I was writing the book, and I recommend it to everybody. We write a lot at Amazon. I used to be a writer, but I've become, I would say, a more data-driven writer being at Amazon, where I am writing 6-pager documents almost every 2 weeks. And it's how we present our work, it's how we stand a better chance as a UX team, because we can present strategy, research insights, and design iterations all together. So that's like the complete journey of me as a writer. And luckily, I'm very inspired by my own parents, who are both published authors.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And my father just wrote a fiction book called Strange Encounters.
Oh.
And he wrote it in the honor of Radha, who's my daughter's name. And as I was writing the book, sort of like as a full circle again, as a tribute to the journey that I had taken on as a writer. So he was really proud of that and wrote a book to help me feel better about the book that I had written. So
oh my God, that's so inspiring to hear about. Yeah, so you talked about the book and how during the journey of writing the book you also learned a lot. So you work at AWS, so we wanted to know that what were your learnings over there, what kind of work do you do over there?
At Amazon or at AWS, I think scale is the biggest factor that comes into play. And there's a study as well that Harvard did a while back, which talks about as companies age and as companies scale, change becomes harder. So for us, change management becomes a huge aspect of what we do. So as I was coming into the team, I joined Amazon more than 3 years ago now. I was coming in from JP Morgan, so I had a ton of background into building global teams. I used to be in London at the time. I moved for the role, which was a huge thing for me. I thought, my life is done. I'm in London. Yay! I get the best Indian food here. So I was really happy in London. But the opportunity to show up at Amazon was different for me, because as I came in, the entire team was disintegrated. There's more than 5,000 designers at Amazon, so you can understand sort of the scale. And when I came in, there were essentially 3 or 4 different pods that were spread across an engineering leader, a product leader. So the first idea was to bring it all together under one umbrella, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't just like, hey, we have a head of research and design joining, let's bring it all together. It was a journey of understanding problems that each of these team members were solving, and then thinking about customer outcomes as the unifying thread across my team members. So that's how we started to integrate the team, made proposals, wrote 6-pager documents, and got my approval to build a team. That's how the global studio for enterprise design at Amazon, specifically for me, I focus a lot on fintech because I work with the CFO of AWS. For me, it's very interesting because we get to tie every pixel to bottom line impact. We can say that I changed this workflow, I made it more efficient, and because of that, I could drive a higher velocity, higher quality financial decision. So my team now focuses on more than 30 products, and we have, like just within my domain, and then overall at Amazon, the scale is more than 5,000 products as well. So
that's huge.
Yeah. And we've been on this journey with AI now, which has been so cool to experiment. I think I also want to break this myth that we have AI will take away jobs. Like on the contrary, it's just going to extend what I can do. How much can I experiment? How much can I research? Can I bring back those insights into what my team is developing on the ground? And that's where strategy truly starts. So that was a design maturity journey for me and my team. Going from, hey, let me just get you what you need right now, let me unblock you, to, hey, let me tell you where the org should be going. So I wrote the 3-year vision document for our team, which is huge for my org, to see that a design leader is writing where an entire org strategy should be going, was a huge shift from where we had started as a design and research team. So my focus has been to develop really these unicorn designers who can do everything. And with AI now we can do more research, we can do more design, we can do more experimentation, we can write our own code, right? Like, and really stop taking just mediocrity as an answer. We get a lot of that with engineering, right? Like where we propose cool, crazy ideas and we're always almost stopped in our tracks, and we get some very boiled down version of that grand vision. And that will change with AI. So my team has now developed an AI first playbook that connects all of enterprise design thinking into milestone based projects. So you can start with research, you can go into design, and you can experiment and you can deliver, but there are agents working with you along the way. So as you're making those decisions, you get to see them live with their impact. Product BRDs are being written by my team. We are writing our own acceptance criteria and saying, hey, this is not good enough, and pushing that. So it's been a really fun journey, and I can, of course, talk all day about the UX playbook that we've made, but I'll pause there and just say that whatever I do is a factor of how great my team is. So my focus is really on my people, and that will never change, whatever technology comes in or goes. And through development of leaders who are yet to come, I think I'll continue to scale impact at Amazon and beyond Amazon, and join conferences and amazing people like yourself and share some stories.
So yeah, like you also mentioned about the organization strategy and everything. So overall, in all documentations, playbooks that you have made, what was the key principle that you stuck by, or key philosophy that drives all this?
Such a great question, because I've basically written it on every whiteboard in my all 3 studios, Seattle, New York, and Hyderabad.
Okay.
Documentation is king.
Whoa, yeah.
So, or queen, or whatever. So I think the biggest lesson for me throughout all of my journey, whether it was at Accenture consulting, doing agency work, I've worked in small to large design agencies. I have worked for financial institutions like JP Morgan, where I've seen compliance play such a huge role. Now at finance in AWS, I see controllership play such a huge role. One mechanism has been common for me. It's listen, listen to what's happening on the ground. It's always active listening. It's not active interviewing per se. It's observing, and listening happens in so many ways, where I can shadow somebody, I can look at their digital footprint through telemetry data. I can start to maybe engage them in some informal conversations that are happening just in the hallway, you know. So there's an aspect of listening. Once you do that through that art of documentation, you can start linking. And when you link, you can start to see patterns. You can start to say, oh, that user also was telling me about that. That business stakeholder was talking about this metric that they want to hit. And then this engineer was talking about this new technology that's out there.
Yeah.
And guess what? I just connected the dots, and here's a new product, you know. That's the last stage of, I think, once you do listen and linking, right? Then you can get to learning. I think learning, I would say, is like the thread that's connecting listening and linking in a way where you're constantly learning. Right. You learn through listening, you learn through testing, you learn through observing people, you learn through just showing absolute courage. It takes courage to be vulnerable in a way where you're showing your creative freedom. Takes so much to say that, hey, I came up with something, tell me what you think. It's so easy to critique. So I think, going back to Shree's question, like, why do we need unicorn designers? Being a unicorn designer will help us make ourselves more adaptable, more open to change, where we can say, you know what, yeah, I agree with you, engineer, because I see that this industry is not yet ready for this, because this thing is still not out there. What about a patent? So that's sort of the journey of how I use listen, link, and learn at Amazon. And I came up with Uno, a product which is unifying more than all of these 30 products that I talked about under one umbrella, under one AI-powered finance platform that's driven by insights that are invisible insights that, hey, Bhagyashree, there's a variance that we are noticing in your month-end close report. You should go do something about it. So those insights that are invisible need to be so accurate, right? Like, they have to be right. You can't go take action on something unless we are absolutely sure about it. Then there are embedded insights where you're working through your flow, you are trying to get to a business outcome, or maybe you're just coding, and you get an insight right there, an alert that tells you, hey, maybe this is how you can optimize your process. I see you're trying to do this. So that intelligence, that's always embedded in whatever you do. And then the last one is more around engaged, which is where we see a lot of patterns like GPT and Claude and Figma make, for example, where I'm always coding and I'm seeing a result. It's very reactive. I think the industry is moving, if we are listening, linking, and learning, the industry is moving towards a more proactive, insight-based, actionable approach overall. So it's not so much about, hey, I'll tell you what I need to know. Problem framing will still be a part of what humans do and how we interact with AI, absolutely. But beyond that journey, I think we want partnership with AI so that we become the unicorn designers, we become more hands-on, more engaged with what we are doing. So that listen, link, learn mechanism, you can apply in any scenario, whatever the technology scene be, and you will be able to go really far in your journey.
I think you just made a new 3L rule that we can follow, and it's a new concept, a new framework for all the unicorn designers who want to be in the future. So moving forward, Amazon as a product has such a huge customer base and so varied at the same time. So how do you have the consistency overall, over your products for different customer base, giving the same solution to all of them?
Fantastic question. One of the biggest exercises that we've been thinking about doing at Amazon is something called customer cohorts. So I specifically work at AWS, and imagine we have data centers globally, and with the rise of AI, we are expected to double the energy consumption by 2030. So imagine data centers, the demand for data centers, and what AWS does is just going to keep increasing. There's no stopping that. So as we think about the scale of where my business is growing, there are customers who come to us from every industry, right? Like, so for example, I'm working with a we call them an extra large healthcare client in the LATAM and North America region. And these guys have been focusing on the same problems that we have, that we are solving internally. Things like, how can my research get better? So I'm giving a very design-led perspective. Yeah. So when we think about industries like that are not just even looking for Amazon solutions per se, but now when you go beyond that layer, yes, I am an AWS customer already. Now, how far can you go with me on my personal journey as a company through the services that AWS offers? Absolutely. So like going beyond that layer and saying, okay, what's again the 3L, understanding what's happening on the ground and figuring out what is this customer looking for, and then translating those patterns into the core UX solution. So I'll give you, another key project that we've been working on. It's called Phantom. And I hear, I think Anurag Basu has say Phantom.
Yeah,
I know, and my team told me, hey, first a Phantom, but okay.
That's very cool.
That's very cool. So, but thinking through Phantom for design, we've been developing enterprise design Gen AI prototyping tool. It's called Phantom. And what it does is I can go in, I can express my intent, and I can say, hey, I'm looking to create a checkout scenario.
Yeah.
And then it renders a checkout scenario because we have defined very core elements at the level of atoms, and very, again, the same principles of design apply, atomic design, where I'm going from atoms all the way to molecules to organisms and creating workflows now. Yeah. So as we think about workflows, there's an entire workflow for a customer who maybe picks up a product and then goes through the cycle of purchase, maybe looks up other products and then completes the purchase in a shopping cart. Yeah, that entire experience can be prototyped now. Now I can say that, hey, I want this look and feel to be following my design system. That's my brand. So we are essentially creating a white label UX component that's ingrained in the thinking of our agents, and then it renders those components, but it can become customized or personalized to that brand that we are offering. So essentially, when you think about AWS as a brand, yes, we have certain components or systems that work for us, but then how do I translate it for that healthcare client who has a very specific need, but is very personalized and it's very niche. So as we move further into AI and as we think about memory graphs and knowledge graphs that are going to grow around the person or around that customer cohort, our solutions will start to scale even further. And that's the approach that we are taking with Phantom, scaling it across Amazon already and then also exposing it on external platforms. So it should be going live pretty soon. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, that is great to hear, and all the best for your future launches. Yeah, so with that, I also wanted to know that me being currently a design student and aspirant of working in companies, big companies, what would be your advice to, students who are currently, trying to understand AI, because, it's the buzz, we need to, know about it, understand AI agents, the workflows, everything. What advice would you give to us, and where should we start?
I'll bring in the aspect of what I learned through all of my design institutions. So my journey started here in Hyderabad, actually. I went to NIFT Hyderabad.
It's a full circle movement coming back and giving.
Yes, it's fantastic. So I'm returning here after a long time. And when I think about my journey that started here, I was very fortunate to find scholarships, could never really afford to go outside to learn design. So it was all about scholarships and figuring out how do I, just make it. So then went to UK and then to the States. So like all through these experiences, one thing remained common, which is that core aspect of understanding your users, going through the process of service design, mapping your journeys, going through exercises of understanding what are the elements of design. For example, I still remember my professor here, Dr. Reddy. She used to teach us how to use 5 squares, just black squares, draw black squares, and express emotions through 5 black squares. How do you do that? So put a square, and then within that square you need to put 5 squares and arrange them in a way that shows either fun or sadness or anger. And you can't change the shape, you have to stay within those bounds. So it was like that exercise to me still translates, right?
Yeah.
Like AI cannot do the aspect of understanding my intent from the get-go. It has to start from my problem framing. Otherwise it won't start, it won't know where to start.
Right.
So for me to know my intent, I need to process, I need to document, I need to think about what is it that I am trying to express through my either my customer goal, my business goal, what's possible in the industry, and bringing those aspects together. So I think for students now, it's very important that they focus on the craft. Craft will never change. Like good design will always stay. AI will not make a bad designer a good designer, right? Like that kind of. So please keep practicing, polishing. When your professors are sharing some, examples or assignments with you, just do them in the most experimentative way. Don't worry about grades.
Yeah.
Like if you worry about grades in your school, then you will never be able to experiment, because post that your journey for the next 4 or 5 years post your school is going to look like a manager basically telling you, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is your time to experiment. Like go as crazy as you can and use AI. UI, I think, will translate into AX, right? So all of that experience is now going to change. So focus on the craft, experiment. Don't get just distracted by buzzwords. Really go back to the core of what design truly is.
So yeah, like moving on to a fun segment.
Yes. All of that was fun too, by the way.
Yeah. We would like to know more about you personally. So we have a rapid fire round.
Sure.
And so let's get started. Describe yourself in one word.
I'm a go-getter.
Great. What one book that you find interesting?
My dad's Strange Encounters.
Yeah,
It's available on Amazon.
Yes. What's the best part of your work day?
You asked work day.
Yeah.
This I was thinking day,
Now
but work day.
Now I
Okay.
want to know more both work day
Work
and
day. Okay. So day is when I wake up my 1.5-year-old daughter in the morning, and when she sees me and she says, "Mama," best feeling. And then seeing her after work, another best feeling. And I think my daily stand-up that I do with my team, it's amazing. It brings everybody on the same page. It's a global stand-up, so sometimes we stretch and sometimes the India team stretches, but we make it happen. And that creates a sense of, hey, yeah, like we are on track, we are doing great.
Yeah, great. And what do you love about UX India?
Community.
Yeah. And last question, if not design, what other field would you like to be in?
I could be a kick-ass lawyer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, thank you so much for your time and all the valuable insights. It was, really great talking to you. And this conversation, I feel that our viewers are really inspired to do great work in India and also globally. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.